Can we live without an overarching sovereign state that operates on a large scale? This is one of the questions that I consider in this book, The Polycentric Republic, that has just come out with Routledge. In this book, which is the fruit of over 8 years of reflection, conversations, and research, I consider whether there is a better way to organize our political life. I refute the fallacious argument that a society without a strong central state is destined for chaos or anarchy or disorder by showing through historical examples that it is possible to maintain civil order even in the absence of a sovereign state. For example, there have been city leagues, there is the Swiss Confederation. Basically, certain forms of loose coordination are possible under a shared constitution without an overarching sovereign state. This is true empirically, historically, and it's also true that this is a better way to organize social life because it allows for a lot more grassroots, bottom-up forms of cooperation and organization, and it respects the autonomy and liberty of citizens. If you agree with me that the modern state is undergoing a serious crisis, a crisis of legitimacy and a crisis of efficacy, the welfare state is tottering, the nationalist kind of narrative of the modern state is fragmenting, with many kind of different communities trying to make alternative claims to identity. If you agree with me that the modern state is not fit for purpose, then I think you might find this an interesting read, because essentially I offer a radical alternative, a very different vision of political life that is rooted in history, the history of federalism, but is also inspired by a philosophical vision of freedom, of the freedom to flourish, which is not the vision of some people, which is highly individualistic and everyone just goes about their life as they see fit in a little bubble, but it's a very social vision in which we find the meaning of our life in community with others, but to the extent possible in uncoerced relationships, in free relationships. So ultimately, this is a book about freedom. It's a book that explores the implications of freedom for our civil order, for our shared civil order. And it finds the modern state extremely wanting, to be basically pathological from the point of view of social and economic development. And it offers a constructive alternative, which I call the Polycentric Republic. This book is now available on Amazon. It's also available on Kindle, and it's available on the Routledge website as well.